Uruapan, Michoacán, Mexico. The assassination of Carlos Alberto Manzo Rodríguez, a state crime. By Daniel Chavarria, World Press Agency, National Graphic Press. Reporter and camerawoman, Margarita Hernandez. Audio, video, and projection, Brandos Chavarria. Interview with lawyer Epifania Rodríguez Meza. Lawyer, good afternoon. What is your opinion on the assassination of Carlos Manzo Rodríguez? Look, Daniel Chavarria, this was a well-orchestrated plot. There are many people involved in this matter, not just the material author. There are people who are involved up to their necks. Think about it, Daniel. At the celebration they hold in Uruapan, where they take candles to their sacred departed, there should always be a first aid ambulance, or failing that, the police should know how to act in that situation. Carlos Manzo was a somewhat heavy man, and the shots were fired into his abdomen. There was a significant delay in transferring him to a hospital that could give him first aid and look for a way to save his life. Every police officer must take a first aid course, even if it's the basic one, and no one provided him with the attention he required when the bullet impacts were lodged in his body. Lawyer, who do you believe was the mastermind or masterminds of this murder by firearm? Look, Daniel Chavarria, it's too early to make a conjecture because I am not an authority. I am a criminal defense attorney. However, during his life, he made several allegations against people who did not agree with his way of governing. He mentioned the state governor, whom the DEA apparently links to a criminal group, or several criminal groups, in the state of Michoacán, as well as his Secretary of Public Security in this federal entity. Lawyer, are you from Uruapan, Michoacán? No, Daniel, I am from Tansatoro, Michoacán, a place just as cold as Uruapan. It is as cold as in the land of guitars, which is Paracho. But we came down to Uruapan to buy what the family needed, and that day we were shopping and enjoying ourselves because the esplanade where the great event was taking place which the president was directing was so decorated. It was a joyful celebration among families and tourists who came from other states of the Republic and other countries. There were people from Spain, from the United States. We saw many light-skinned people. Tourism was at 100%, the hotels were full. We felt happy because it was a great economic benefit they were bringing to Uruapan. Without floor charging, extortion fees, without extortionists, without people bothering the merchants, since that greatly bothered the president, Carlos Manzo. It was pure happiness. By the way, he walked close to me, shook my hand, and kept walking. He was carrying one of his children in his arms, the one who appears in the video looking up at the sky. Lawyer. What can you tell all the politicians who are expressing solidarity with Manzo Rodríguez's family? That they stop being opportunists, that they don't try to write on the fame of a great man, a president who sought to change the course of the municipality of Uruapan, Michoacán, since it was heavily hit by criminal groups. Lawyer, likewise, there are businessmen who are currently addressing words to Manzo Rodríguez's family. What can you tell them? Look, Chavarria, right now, businessmen, politicians, and the entire government sphere are looking for a way to misrepresent things in order to obtain positions in different government administrations. Lawyer, apparently there will be a march on November 15th. Will you attend? Yes, I will go because Carlos Manzo Rodríguez was my paisano, fellow countryman, from Michoacán, and I want to be there to show solidarity with the family. But if I see a politician trying to be a protagonist and attempting to exploit this tragedy to lash out against the government, I am capable of grabbing them by the hair and exposing them, because we do not want opportunists. We Michoacanos are honest and hard-working people with human quality, and we dream with a hope of having a better future to leave to our children. We do not want politicians who take advantage of the pain of others. Lawyer, but how are you going to do that if you are not a relative? Look, Chavarria, the people are very enraged and are willing to do anything. We do not want politicians who are going to mock the family of Carlos Manzo with false words in the face of this tragedy. Lawyer, can you tell me what you know about Carlos Manzo's biography? Of course. In the city of Uruapan, Michoacán, we all knew who he was. And who was lawyer Carlos Alberto Manzo Rodríguez? He was a Mexican politician who served as the municipal president of Uruapan, Michoacán, Mexico. It is said that he was born on April 9, 1985, in Uruapan, Michoacán, Mexico. He died on November 1, 2025, in Uruapan del Progreso, Uruapan, Mexico, at 8:30 p.m., at the age of 40, due to a gunshot wound. His father, Juan Manzo Saya, social activist. He studied for a bachelor's degree in political science and public management at the Institute of Technology and Higher Studies of the West, Instituto Tecnológico y Estudios Superiores de Accident. He defined himself as a social and environmental activist. Municipal president of Uruapan. He held the position from September 1, 2024, until his death on November 1, 2025. He won the 2024 municipal election as an independent candidate, becoming the first independent municipal president of Uruapan, Mexico. His administration focused on a security strategy of direct confrontation against organized crime, an approach that earned him the nickname the Mexican Bucle and the Man with a Hat. He was a deputy for the 9th District of Michoacán during the LXV legislature, from September 1, 2021, to February 27, 2024, a period during which he was a member of the National Regeneration Movement, Movimiento Regeneración Nacional, Morena, party. He requested a leave of absence on February 27, 2024, to run for the municipal presidency. Auditor for the Mexican Social Security Institute. From 2017 to 2018, he worked as an auditor for the Mexican Social Security Institute, Instituto Mexicano del Seguro Social, INS, in Michoacán. Party trajectory. He belonged to the National Regeneration Movement, Morena, party from 2021 to 2024, and was an independent from 2015 to 2021 and from 2024 to 2025. He was a candidate for federal deputy between 2017 and 2018. He dreamt of being president of the Mexican Republic to give economic, political, and social stability to Mexico. He dreamt of a Mexico without violence. He wanted to eradicate crime in the same way they do it. They must be struck down if they attack the life of a police officer, a public servant, a boy, a girl, or an elderly person. The assassination of Carlos Alberto Manzo Rodríguez, which occurred on November 1, 2025, in Uruapan, Michoacán, Mexico, was carried out by a material author who was struck down at the scene by the mayor's escorts. Here are the key details of the investigation. Material author shot down. The person who shot Manzo was neutralized. Subsequently, the attacker was reported to have been identified as Osvaldo Gutierrez Vasquez, alias El Cuñado, although other sources indicate that the identity had not yet been publicly confirmed at the time of the report. The prosecutor's office indicated that the man was between 17 and 19 years old. He shot the mayor 7 times with a 9mm caliber weapon. Other involved parties. Authorities confirmed the participation of at least 2 subjects in the crime. The arrest of 2 suspects, or alleged accomplices, was mentioned in the hours following the attack. Planning and possible mastermind. The State Attorney General's Office, Fiscalía General del Estado, FGE, at Michoacán indicated that the attack was planned. Authorities are focusing on identifying the criminal group behind the planning of the assassination. Various reports indicate that the mayor was threatened by the Jalisco New Generation cartel and other criminal groups in the region due to his firm stance against organized crime. The pistol used by the attacker has a criminal history and is related to criminal acts between rival groups in the area. In summary, the material author of the crime was shot down, but the investigation continues to determine the identity of the masterminds in the criminal group that ordered the assassination. Lawyer, who do you think the city council will propose to take over the position of municipal president? Chavarria, today, Wednesday, November 5, 2025, the person who is slated to assume the municipal presidency of Uruapan, Michoacán, Mexico, is Grisha Quiroz Garcia. She is the widow of the former municipal president, Carlos Alberto Manzo Rodríguez, who was recently assassinated. Following the death of the incumbent mayor, Grisha Quiroz has been proposed and is expected to be designated by the Michoacán Congress as the substitute mayor to complete the constitutional term of 2024 to 2027. And we move forward for an informed Mexico, World Press Agency, National Graphic Press, World Journalists, International Mexico, Press Without Censorship. We publish in La Voz del Mundo in the state of Veracruz, on YouTube, TypeTick, website, and international networks. Share.
Y esa joya musical de México, Banda Perla de Michoacán. Y eso es Ilusión 98. Y baile.